dog in your life is thinking? Well, join me, Liz Murdoch, animal communicator, talking with the dogs and finding out what dogs want people in their lives to know and understand. I've spent my life talking and listening to animals. So if you consider yourself a dog person or just happen to have a dog, I'm here to help you learn how to talk or listen to the dogs in your life. I chat with people too, sharing stories and tips on exactly how animal communication or being a dog whisperer makes an impact at home or when working with the dogs. So welcome to Talking with the Dogs podcast, a place where we uncover exactly what dogs want us to know and celebrate that every dog has a story. Today we have Jamie Rudin, who is the founder of Dog Spotted, and she has just launched a new website for dog parents to support them in all aspects of caring for their dog and how to connect in community with the vets and the dog walkers and everything. And we're so excited to share what she's created. And also we're going to tune in with her own dog, Lucy, to find out what Lucy thinks about this new venture and anything else Lucy wants or needs Jamie to know. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Tell us what it is that you've created with Dog Spotted.
Yeah, so Dog Spotted came up from experiences. I grew up with dogs. I grew up with Taz and Cappuccino. Mm-hmm. And being a dog sibling versus a dog parent is a totally different ballgame, as I'm sure most people know. And when we fostered another dog in May during the pandemic, by the second day we had him, we noticed he was covered in fleas. Mm-hmm. And neither my boyfriend or I had dealt with that before. So we were Googling high and low to find a remedy. And we just couldn't find a legitimate site that we could trust. So it was very frustrating. And I thought, why is there not just one?
Second. Did you feel that they were just the sites that you found were just trying to sell you on their products?
I think some definitely were plugging in hard. And I think some were just people doing what they think was right. But I was like, I want one with an expert giving me this reliable, authentic choice or solution.
Okay.
So totally. So that's why I've been inviting either long-term dog parents that are very invested in their dog's care, or a vet, groomer, trainer, walker, or small dog businesses that have focused on creating products to improve their dog's life. So that's one piece of it. The other piece, as mentioned with the small businesses, when I adopted Lucy, the amazing rescue, Ruff House Rescue, had a trainer on site to give you an orientation to tell you what are the good toys, what are the bad toys, what are the good foods, what are the bad foods. And shortly thereafter, we went to Petco to get her the necessities. And I was just absolutely astounded to see these bad toys and these bad foods lining the shelves. So I was like, we need to find a solution. And so many amazing small businesses are filling that gap. So that's another piece. And we offer discount codes and promotions, and we do events with small businesses to get their word out there and also alleviate your wallet. And then the third thing is, on top of the events, is we are really big proponents of rescues, as Lucy's a rescue. And we have a whole database for New York City dog parents to start, where they can filter rescues that are accessible to them. And they can filter whether they can foster to adopt. If they just offering foster, can you only just adopt the dog? Or my personal favorite is breed specific, because there's so many people that are like, I want to get this certain dog. And there's actually a good amount of rescues that might serve that. So for example, there's one for Shiba Inus. There's one for Cocker Spaniels, which are usually considered designer dogs, but you can rescue them.
Right. And many of them, because I know that some people think, oh, I don't want to get a rescue because, they've been traumatized. And I often when I talk about rescues from my own working with rescues, is that some of these dogs are not traumatized. There's just been something that happened in the family that they discovered the child's allergic. They've discovered some reason that is, they wish they could keep their dog, but they really can't.
and they're doing the best thing they can by giving this dog a new home. And the rescues are facilitating that. And it's a great place to at least start if you're looking for a certain breed that you can't find at an animal shelter, is these rescues that are trained for these dogs and know how to screen the right family, a family that's a good match for the particular dog.
100%, 100%. And these rescues take such care. They don't want to just give the dog away to any family. They want to make sure not only is a good fit for you, but also a good fit for the dog.
Right.
I know I looked at dogs when I was looking for a rescue and I was like, oh, that dog looks so cute. And they're like, this dog has to have another dog in the house, or this dog needs to have a backyard with a fence. And I live in Manhattan, so I don't have that. And I didn't have another dog. So they were like, then this is not for you. And I honestly respect that. Obviously, the moment I was disappointed, but I respect that because they're putting the dog's needs first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like you said, these past traumas, but like just because the dog needs a fenced yard or a buddy, right? That doesn't make them bad or good. And there's different behavioral issues that are definitely over time you can help. So the foster dog, for example, had severe separation anxiety that we had him for 3 weeks, that my boyfriend and I were literally sleeping on the floor on yoga mats, playing ocean music to help soothe him go to sleep. So it's just about the commitment and the time. And I honestly think of my dog as like my fur baby. So
I want to do one disclaimer, because there are people who are like, oh no, I don't want a dog like that. But there are other people who love helping dogs like that because they've had experience and they know that the dog can recover or develop resilience and have a transformation that makes it be able to settle happily ever after into a new home. Okay, so your Dog Spotted is bringing this community together of helping people spot the dog that's right for them, sort of, and find the resources. You're not selling this flea medicine over another one. It's a place to get information when you're trying to figure out, or somebody like CBD is a big thing. They can go and find out information in different resources so that when they go to their vet or they go to their CBD provider, they can say, oh, I have a little bit more education and I can make the right choice for my dog and all of that, for all sorts of things. Is that right?
100%. And we have 2 Instagram accounts. So one is our @DogSpotted, which is fun and really focused on the community and educational. But we also have another handle called @SpotsAdoptableFriends, where we also talk about educating about rescues and busting myths and having takeovers with other rescue organizations. And there's a lot of resources there as well. So we kind of have this dual community, as well as our e-newsletter, where we talk about rescues, we talk about products, we talk about dog stories happening around the world. We had one talking about like how John Hamm rescued this one dog that kept getting returned to the rescue, I think like 5 times, which is just,
but that's, you know what, the other thing I know, I mean, we feel bad, but this is where my own mission to educate people is, if a dog is not right for a family, rather than traumatize the family, traumatize the dog, it's not working out, then sometimes the best thing to do is return the dog. Or if you haven't been able to work it out with a trainer and practicing, or calling the rescue and saying we need support, a reputable rescue, for those of you who are listening who might think, I'm going to go adopt a dog, they will support you as you get the dog settled in. Some don't make it official for several weeks. So know that when you're adopting a dog, that it is a village that you are going to need to create for your dog. And that's what Dog Spotted is trying to do, to support you, as be a clearinghouse sort of for your village that we all really need, and we aren't always so aware that we need it, right?
Totally. And there's no manual, right? And we actually have created, and we're releasing it in chunks through our e-newsletter, we call it the Ultimate Guide. And there's different chapters to help you navigate being a dog parent. So one of the chapters was, how do you know you're ready to adopt, or how to budget for your rescue dog or dog. And there's so many different resources. And for example, I don't know if you're familiar with Small Door Vet in New York. They actually are very big on the rescue front. For your first exam, if you obviously prove that you rescued the dog, free. And they also have a telehealth membership. And if you rescue through our promo code, you can get a free membership for a year.
So many great resources. So I want to get to Lucy as well and find out what Lucy thinks of all of this. I have not met Lucy before. We had our brief hello. Lucy, are you around? Can you hear us?
Yes, Lucy's coming out.
Lucy, now's your chance to say what you want your family to know, what you want our listeners to know.
Yeah.
Lucy, hi.
Say
Hello,
hi, Lucy.
girl. I'm so glad that you were able to wait patiently, Lucy. Oh, the first thing she says is walks. She says the downside of New York is when she's cooped up inside. She says that some days she can go longer than others. She likes the long walks. Okay, I'm going to slow down. She wants the long walks. Gosh, it frustrates her when there's more the crowds. She likes this pandemic thing because the streets aren't as crowded. And she likes when the streets are less crowded because she likes to go. She says she could be a racehorse.
100%. She's a total speed demon.
She is. And getting outside, she goes, it's hard for her to stay inside. In the winter, Lucy, you're telling me about it. So I know that you like it outside, and the snow is a bit much sometimes.
Yeah, it gets a little cold for her.
Yeah, doesn't like that so much. But she's an outside girl. What she likes about living in New York, I used to live in New York, and I never thought much about the dogs, I didn't have a dog when I lived in New York, but she loves it because there are so many good smells, and I have talked to people about the importance of mixing up the walks. I live in California, and I worked with a dog trainer when I first got one of my dogs. I always have a dog trainer when I get a new dog, just for a refresher, and point out like, oh, this. So anyway, she was talking about the importance of mixing up your walks for the dog's benefit. So they're familiar walking in new places. But Lucy says in New York, you can walk the same route, but it's different every day because the people, like here in California, when we walk, I know my neighbors, they walk at the same time. We go the same way. Yeah, Lucy, you would think it's boring. But in New York, that's interesting. The same walk is different every day because some days are delivery days. I can see these trucks. Wow, some days are delivery days. Some days are trash days. That in California, our trash is, most people know, most places in America, trash is trash day. But in New York, as you know, Jamie, trash is on the streets.
Yep.
The workers are, getting out of the trucks often to get it and load it up, which in here. So she's got so many interesting things. She loves being a dog in New York City.
That's good to know. I'm glad.
She's fascinated by that. So you notice that she likes her outside time.
Oh, she thrives. The other day I took her out, and there was like a fenced area, and it was actually covered in snow. So I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But it was just nice and closed off. So that's why, and I just let her go, and she just went zoom, 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 and just darted all over the place.
Does she go to that park in Washington Square?
No, it's near Battery Park.
Okay.
And we normally sit there in that same spot in the summer and have picnics there, but it was obviously dead because it was covered in snow, and she just like bolted around and loved it. I think she was just excited to run around because it's been snowing.
She wants to move a lot. That's very important to her. Okay, so Lucy, we lost you from the camera, but we're still chatting. I want to get what else is good besides your walks, because I always like the challenge of, okay, what else can you say that's specific that Jamie would know that you like? Oh, okay. So she likes that when you go outside and it's cold out, and she does hate the cold, you have a way of warming her up, and she comes in, she loves it's like a thawing out, and that you take good care of her in helping her thaw out after, I guess, do you rub her down when it's really cold, like when it snowed? Do you thaw her? It's like she's wrapped in I get this feeling of her thawing out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, what we do is if her legs and paws are wet, we'll wipe her down with a wet paper towel just to get all the soot off. Then we'll do a dry paper towel. Then we'll put like a what is it? Like a palm, like a dog palm on her paws.
Yeah.
And then we put her in a blanket.
It's a whole procedure.
It's a total process.
Thawing her out, it's like a spa, and she's okay with the drying off, but this whole envelope of this, like a plush blanket or something, it's just like so nice. She loves that's the best part of being cold for her, is what you do when you come home. So I want you to talk a bit about, because I like the education part, when a dog goes outside in the rain or the snow or whatever, especially these little dogs, but there are big dogs who care about it too. In fact, my big dogs will stand and wait for their paws to be dried off. And not everyone is an experienced dog listener. So tell us what you do, because Lucy loves this. And for those of you listening, if you figure out what works in your house, your dog's dirty paws is an opportunity to bond with your dog and make it one of their favorite things to go outside when it's cold and wet. Right, Jamie?
100%. So we actually bought her boots. She was not having it, which I think most dogs aren't fans of it, but she really wasn't having it. So when we're walking down the streets of New York, we actually have to almost play a game of like obstacle course, because there's that salt that actually can burn their paws. So there's some parts of the block that are totally fine. And then there's parts where like in the middle of the block, there'll be a spurt of that salt. Yeah. So we pick her up to make sure that her paws don't get burned. And then when we come back, it's dangerous for them. I don't want her to get hurt. And she's always shaking because she, like you said, does not like the cold. She's definitely a summer babe. But when she comes back, going to your point, she bolts from the elevator in the hallway to our door because she's, like you said, so excited to start that warming up process. So we take off her collar and her jacket. And she's also very particular with her jacket in terms of, she doesn't like jackets that have like sleeves for her legs. She likes to be free bound, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
she's a mover. So we, as mentioned, we just wipe her down to get all like the soot, because it's New York. And then we dry her off, and then we add this, like, I think it's like a coconut type of oil for her palms, so that, because they get dry in the winter. And then we actually have a heated blanket that my boyfriend's mom gave us. And then we wrap her in. It's a total process. And then she's just a total cuddle bug, and will watch any show that I want. She does not fight for the remote.
No, this is a big deal. Okay, so that's good. So Lucy, we got your favorite things. So we're going to move on to, what do you want Jamie to know, or anyone in the house? What's important to you to know? Okay,
she's hiding right now.
That's okay. She can rest.
Okay.
So she says, I like it here. I guess you've thought about moving?
I mean, I would love to be in California.
Well, because she says that she likes it here.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they pick up on like the bigger things, like if you've thought about moving. That's what she's saying. So she really likes where she lives, and like she's saying, I hear this, it's good for you too, Jamie. It's good for your business. Your business may grow, but for now, she's like, I like it here. She's publicity shy. So you have a business that's growing, and she's like, I hear this. She's like, it's not about me. It's more about you. Like, there are some people who want to integrate their dogs into their work. I have clients who, they take their dog to work because it's their clients like their dogs. Lucy's like, this dog spotted is not about me. She likes to be in the background. And does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, she's like your muse, she says. I hear she's like your muse, that she gives you inspiration. She wants to know that she knows full well that she's the inspiration, and you can use that part in your talks, I guess, as you promote it.
Well, that's good. She also, we've had illustrations of her, so she knows that she has definitely been a muse, and we've learned a lot just by being her parents.
So yeah, it would much rather be inspiration in your muse rather than the face of your business, and you go be the face. Okay. So she says, take it day by day when you rescue a dog, that I guess you can tell us if this is true or how true, what you can relate to. She says that when you adopted her, that it was touch and go at times, and you had to take it day by day as well. And that people forget that sometimes. They get their dogs and they know, many people have that knowing sense. Like I have a knowing sense. When they get their dogs, they have a knowing sense that this is the dog for them. They take the dog home and then it's like, oh, wait, I didn't bargain for this. And Lucy says that you had some wide-eyed moments. You weren't thinking about giving her back, but you had wide-eyed moments. And that's a message that you can use to remind people, because those of you in the audience, need to know that sometimes when you get a dog, even if it's like your perfect dog, whether you got it at a shelter or a rescue or a breeder, regardless, sometimes you need to take it day by day.
100%. I think, have you ever heard of the 3-3-3 rule when rescuing dogs?
If not.
So the rule that I heard is that it's 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. And the first 3 days, they're like, where am I? What is going on? I'm not super comfortable. 3 weeks, it's like, okay, I'm getting adjusted. This is, I think, where I'm going to be. I'm sniffing still things out. I'm still figuring it out. And then by 3 months, they consider part of your pack and part of your family. And it's funny, even with the foster dog that we had and with Lucy, different attributes have come out. Like she was so scared, bless her heart. We got nervous. We took her to the vet on the second day because she didn't pee for like 2 days. Yeah. And we were like, she was just so anxious. And it definitely took a while to get her housebroken and just get accustomed. And really, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about this. When we first got her, she was petrified of dogs, like so scared, to the point that we have a mirror dresser, and even if she looked at herself, she would be freaking out. And now she is the like Miss Popularity, like wants to meet every dog. And I think it's because she feels more settled in her home and knows that we'll be there for her. Because what really, I think, kickstarted her being more comfortable was if dogs came up to us when we were with her and we pet her and show them that they're friendly and kind, then she would be like, okay, maybe this dog isn't so bad if mom and dad are okay with the dog. And I don't know what happened to her before coming home with us, but I imagine it wasn't super positive with other dogs.
It may have been a negative experience that she had with the other dogs, but it also may have been that she didn't have any experience. So she didn't know. And so she was a little bit whatever.
Taken aback. Yeah.
Yes. So it doesn't matter in some ways, because I don't like to get too tied up into the past of these dogs. But what is important is that even that we're modeling to our dogs and that they are watching how we react. And if we're afraid of a big dog, if I was bit by a big dog and I see a big dog and I'm like, oh, my dogs are going to feel that through the leash. And so we have to work on our issues, if we have them, about dogs, because our dogs are going to pick up on that. So Jamie, people who want to find out all these tips you have, you've just launched your website, is just available. There are changes coming probably all the time as people find out and want to get involved and share their resources. And you've got coupons, you said. Where should they go? Tell us again.
Yeah. So we have our website, dogspotted.com, where all our content lives. Except we do have some separate content for our e-news subscribers that is high value. So you'll get even more content there. I only send that once or twice a week. The other piece is for those that are dog experts in the industry and want to partner and collaborate. We have a LinkedIn group. We have options for you to sign up where you can write content. We can collaborate on events. And we also have an ambassador program for experts or really, really, really passionate dog people that want to help spread the word of Dog Spotted and giving these resources out. And then the vendor booklet that you mentioned about the coupons, the promo codes are exclusive to Dog Spotted, and you can only get them when you sign up for the e-newsletter. So I highly recommend, and there's always good tidbits in there and great fun product recommendations there that you might not have thought of. But the content really varies. There's 6 categories within the blog. So there's outings, different places to go with your dog that are dog friendly. There's entertainment, which could be anything from movies or pop culture. There's what I like to call parenthood, and it's just about being a dog parent and advice on that and stories. Then we have an advice one that comes from more of the expert side. And we even have an advice column. So if you're interested in asking a vet or a trainer, a groomer, a walker a question, we have a forum that you can do an ask and question with our expert. And then we have wellness that is more health focused. And then we have one last one about products that we recommend, and we make it super easy for you to find them.
Wow. So it's a perfect destination for anyone who needs anything about their dog. I will have this information in the show notes. You can check my website, talkingwiththedogs.com. The show notes will be there. And this is just so exciting as we bring everyone together who works with the dog. You've got everything in one place. And I hope you listeners will take advantage of the great resources to make it so much easier for you taking care of your dog and having fun with your dog.
100%. And one really other cool feature that differentiates us is we actually customize the website to you and your dog. So when you do sign up for our website, there's a link. You can go on it without signing up, but if you do, you enter your dog's name, their age, and then the content is crafted towards your dog, and you will see your dog's name in the content as well as it relating to the age as well.
Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. I think it's exciting. And I hope that when people have an issue like that day by day, and you're like, oh gosh, what do? I need to know about such and such, that they'll go here, because you don't have to be frustrated. And there's so many of us in the community and all the small businesses that you're going to give a platform to that want to serve dogs and their people will have a place that we can go to find them, like that paw oil and stuff. Because
absolutely,
I never heard about it, and I had a client the other day who needed something like that. So this is exciting. So thank you, Jamie, for joining us, and thank you on behalf of all the dogs and people out there who will benefit. I know this has been a lot of work to bring to life, but thank you for sticking at it, because it sounds like it's going to be a great contribution down the road with many exciting things wherever you are. If you end up moving to California at some point, it's all set up. So
yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. And I'm not saying anything now, but there is a whole other phase that we're going to launch after we launch the first part, which is already up. So we're super excited to share that. But for now, it's just on the DL. So you'll definitely have to stay tuned in our e-newsletters to see what's coming.
Perfect. Well, we look forward to that. Lucy, I look forward to you hearing more on your stories as well. I bet we will hear that as inspiration. And to my listeners, thank you for joining us at Talking with the Dogs and learning more about how to tune in with your own dog, what the dogs have to say and want you to know. Come to my website to get your tips to talking with your own dog. And I hope you have a great day, whatever you do with your dog. Ready to find out what your dog wants you to know? Visit talkingwiththedogs.com, book an appointment with me, and we'll find out.
Thanks for tuning in to Talking with the Dogs. Hope today's episode made you want to understand your own dog better and appreciate that every dog has a story and something to say. Subscribe now for more dog stories and insights into animal communication and what it's like to be a dog whisperer. Review this episode on Apple Podcasts or follow Talking with the Dogs on Instagram or Facebook and sign up for a chance for you and your dog to be a guest on the show. Whatever you do, I hope you'll spend time talking with the dogs.